Hey guys, it's Mike, and today I want to just quickly go over the meaning test, which is how you can turn confusing service packages into five-figure brand deals for your, AI visual agency. Quickly, why should you listen to me? The way that I made money from AI visuals was first learning to create, then designing a system to turn the attention generated from these images into money. I then did outreach to work for free. You can do, paid ads, cold email, either or. Start talking to brands, get a case study after working for them, and then you can start earning, of course, by leveraging your case study. I've got examples of client work in the description, and if you want to learn how to do this, then I have a completely free, or it ends up being free, AI Studio Challenge, where all you have to do is do the work and you get all your money back. Anyways, enough of that. Five-figure deals. So the meaning test, this, as I said before, this is how you turn confusing service packages into five-figure brand contracts. So in my experience working with AI visual agencies, I've noticed that a lot of them struggle to close brand deals, not because their work isn't good enough, but because brands can't understand what they're actually buying. Now, I'll go over this in more detail, and I'll start with the problem that most don't see. When I first started, I'd spend hours perfecting my portfolio presentation, and brands would say, "Oh, this looks amazing," and then I'd hear nothing. I thought I needed better work, but what I learned was that they actually couldn't understand exactly what they were buying from me, and that the main takeaway here is that confusion always kills conversion. So what I started testing was I would show my service package to people outside the business, friends, family, whoever, right? And I'd ask them to explain exactly what I do for brands. And what I found is that most couldn't do it. I remember one agency I worked with who was an incredible AI artist, amazing work, and they'd been pitching brands for 3 months with no success. When I had them run what I call the meaning test, the person would read their package and say, so you do something with AI and brands and you make pictures, and it's too vague. And that's when it clicked. And if someone can't explain what you sell, then how can they buy it? So in one line, the meaning test is you showing your service package to someone who doesn't know your business, asking them to explain back exactly what you're selling, and you either pass or fail. They either get it or they don't, right? It's brutal, but it's necessary. So now failure point number one, which would be vague deliverables without the bridge. Now the bridge is key, and I'm going to go over that right now. So most agencies will say things like, "Oh, I'll transform your brand visuals," or "I'll elevate your content strategy," etc., etc. It sounds kind of cool, maybe impressive, but nothing concrete to a brand. When I was starting out, I'd do the exact same thing. AI visuals, powered solutions, comprehensive content strategy, all these kinds of things. And I thought it made me sound professional, but all it does is make you sound vague. And so this is where you put in the "so they can" bridge, which is absolutely critical. Instead of saying something like, "Oh, we'll build your creative infrastructure," I started saying, "We'll build your complete creative infrastructure with 40 to 60 AI visual assets and 50 plus custom prompt templates, so you can test 20 to 30 new ad variations each month without waiting on designers." And as you can see, you can see the difference already. The difference is clear. The first one describes exactly what I do, and the second one connects it to what they actually care about. The only thing they care about is business outcomes. What does your service help my business do that I want it to do more of, or less of? It depends what you're helping with. Do I want my employees to spend less time doing useless tasks, or more time making money, more sales, more customers, etc., etc., right? And so I'll give you one more example. So instead of multi-channel buying, multi-channel media buying setup, I'd say complete ad account setup across Meta, Google, and LinkedIn with conversion tracking and 3 to 5 initial campaigns launched, so you can start generating qualified leads within the first 30 days, right? So they know exactly what they're getting and why they need it, right? So failure point number two, which would be process over outcomes. What I used to do was list everything I do. So, AI tools, setup and config, revisions, quality checks, etc. I walked them through the whole thing, and they didn't really care. Brands don't buy your process, they buy what your process does for them. So an email marketing example would be, instead of saying, "Oh, we'll implement email marketing automation," they can't go back to their boss or the person making the decision and say, "Oh yeah, email marketing automation." They need to know exactly what it is. They can say they build 30 to 40 email sequences covering every customer journey stage so that we can nurture leads nurture leads automatically and reduce churn, right? Or they can say, instead of, oh, they create a retention infrastructure, they can go back to the decision maker and say, they set up our complete retention system with email sequences, SMS campaigns, and community platform so that we can keep customers longer and increase LTV, right? So failure point number 3 is no business reason to act. I found that even when a lot of agencies have like great packages, they lose deals because there's no urgency. The brands will think, oh, it looks good, but I'll come back to it later. And they never do, right? So let me share a quick example. One agency in the program was offering comprehensive AI visual infrastructure. Great. And when I asked them what it meant, they couldn't even explain it clearly. They understood what, but it's not succinct enough. It's not clear enough to get across to a brand, right? So we rebuilt it through the So They Can bridge. So offer positioning so they can target the highest value customer segment, right? So we're going after the best customers now. Then they implement creative systems with custom AI prompts so that they can produce consistent brand visuals. So we're going after the highest value customer. Then we're creating consistent brand visuals. Then we're doing a multi-channel ad account setup so that they can launch campaigns across different, sites and platforms simultaneously. Okay. And then a retention infrastructure so that they can reduce churn and increase LTV on the back end. So highest value customer, consistent brand visuals at scale. We're getting the attention. Then we're turning this attention into money through ad campaigns. And then we're retaining customers on the back end, right? So component number 1 is the concrete deliverable with the bridge. I'll give you some examples, right? So we'll create 40 to 60 foundational AI visual assets across all platforms so you can maintain consistent brand presence while we test variations. Or we'll build a custom prompt pack with 50 plus templates specific to your business so you can create on-brand visuals whenever you need them without starting from scratch, right? Brands need to, I'm sorry, I'm skipping, but I just want to give you the core information that you can use to take away. So what I've learned is this main point here. Brands need 2 things. They need to know exactly what they're getting and why it matters to their business, right? Now, components 2, 3, and 4 for the complete framework. Component 2 is outcome-based processes, which I've gone over. Example being first 30 assets delivered for review by day 21. Again, they know exactly what they're getting, exactly when they'll get it. And then they're going to find out why so that they can start running new creative tests immediately while we complete the full library, right? Component 3, clear investment structure. Pricing should never be confusing or mysterious because, again, someone has to go back and okay it. And if they don't have all the numbers, what they're getting, why they're getting it, why they need it, it's a hard sell. So you do something like the complete 3-pillar infrastructure build is 11,000 over 90 days. So you can have all your systems operational and start seeing improved performance within the first 30 days without any monthly fees during the build. And then component 4 is the urgency. So, but legitimate urgency. So here you would create real capacity constraints and then connect them to their business timeline. For example, only take 3 new infrastructure builds per month to maintain quality. So each client gets our full attention and launches on schedule. Next available start date would be, here or there, right? So this is an example here of what happens when I first applied this framework and going from, saying AI-powered visual studio solution, etc., etc. It's too wishy-washy. It's bullshit. You need to be straight to the point, exactly what the business is getting and why they need it, right? So you can read that through in your own time, but I've gone over it. Now, how do you apply this yourself? 2 key points. You take your current service package, whatever you're using to pitch brands right now, and you show it to someone who doesn't know your business, and you ask them these 2 questions. Exactly what am I selling, and why would a brand that I'm selling to this to need it, right? You either pass or fail. They either understand it or they don't. They can ask a few questions, but you'll be able to judge for yourself. You know when it's, they're just like nitpicking, or do they not really understand these two questions? That, have they not found an answer to these two questions from what you've said? Exactly what you're selling. Why would brands need this? It should be really straight to the point. So, like learning from building Full Metal Studios, I found that the difference between agencies that close brand deals and those that don't usually doesn't have much to do with talent. It's more about clarity and connection. The agencies that succeed all pass that meaning test that I was going over before, right? So I've broken down this entire framework, the 4 components, how to structure each one with the so they can bridge, the exact questions to ask yourself, etc., in a guide that I sometimes sell on my email list. So if you want to check that out, it's completely free. Go subscribe to the email list. If you want to join the school community, as I said, win your money back challenge, you can go sign up for that. All you got to do is complete it, get all your money back. All right, that's Mike.